Hello, good morning.
Can you hear me? Good morning.
Hello, can you speak up? I can't hear you clearly.
Can you hear me now? This is better.
Okay, better now.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Hello, can you speak up? I can't hear you clearly.
Can you hear me now? This is better.
Okay, better now.
Hi, good morning.
Echo, where is echo coming from? Hello, good morning. Can we wait for some minutes, just for, let's say 5 or 10 minutes for the second discussant to join us so we can kick off? I'm using this opportunity to tell those on YouTube to please be patient with us. For some minutes, just for, let's say 5 or 10 minutes for the second discussant to join us so we can kick off. I'm using this opportunity to tell those on please be patient with us for some minutes, just for, let's say 5 or 10 minutes for the second discussant to join us. We can pick up. I'm using this to tell those on
Just because sometimes
Good afternoon, everybody. I think I can now see Sumaya Adebite online as well as Cynthia Study. Can we unmute our mics? Good afternoon, everybody. I think I can now see Sumaya Adebite online as well as Cynthia Study. Can we unmute our mics? Good afternoon, everybody. I think I can now see Sumaya Adebite online. Hope there is no echo from my end, please. Can I just confirm that?
I can hear echo. There's echo from your end. I don't know if I stopped now. Let me try to speak. I see.
I'm trying to work out a solution for the echo right now. Okay, good morning once again. I think the echo has stopped now. Can I confirm that, please?
Yes, it has.
Okay, thank you. I think that was from the YouTube stream. So I'll monitor the YouTube stream from another hand. I can see Sumaya is out right now. I wouldn't know why. But this is already 12:12, and I want us to start this program as planned. So why I await Sumaya, let me say good morning, good afternoon, good day, good evening to everyone all over the world. Yeah, I know the time difference, there are time differences for everyone, and for that reason, we are saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day to everyone. Hope we're all having a wonderful day. Today, we shall be having the International Girls in ICT Day with the theme Access and Safety while using various technologies. Before I go too fast, let's move to the next program on our agenda for today. I will first want to start by thanking all those who are now on YouTube. I can see you from my other device on YouTube. I also want to remind us that we should not forget to introduce ourselves on YouTube as stated in our emails, and as well for those who have WhatsApp messages, we should check the order in which we are expected to introduce ourselves. Don't let's forget to use the hashtag, and don't let's also forget to leave our questions as early as possible so that our speakers can pick it up as early as possible and work on it. I would be running through the discussant's profile. Precisely for today, we have two discussants. We have Ms. Sadiq Simbiat and Ms. Hashim Adegbite Sumaya. They are both IT professionals, and I'll run through their profile in a jiffy. Okay, starting with Ms. Simbiat Sadiq. Ms. Simbiat Sadiq holds a bachelor's degree in technology, particularly cybersecurity, from the prestigious University, Federal University of Technology, Mina, popularly called FUT Mina here in Nigeria. She is an information technology security professional with experience working with different security domains. Simbiat is an active member of the Nigerian cybersecurity community as a part of her significant contribution in inspiring women and promoting cybersecurity in Africa. She was honored as one of the top 50 women in cybersecurity in Africa in 2020. Simbiat works in various capacities as an information security professional in various sectors, amongst which is the top financial institutions in Nigeria. Simbiat has a keen interest in promoting cybersecurity awareness down to the grassroots. This led to her active contribution to the Africa's first storied cybersecurity awareness handbook when she led a team at No Go Fall MAGA. I think I can pronounce that correctly. Hashtag No Go Fall MAGA. She is constantly driving cybersecurity awareness and shared her opinions on various cybersecurity issues via various means, including blogs, articles, social media, and webinars as well. She is also a serial volunteer, as she loves to invest her time in something she cares about, particularly cybersecurity. Simbiat currently volunteers as the program lead for Cyber Girls, an initiative of CyberSafe Foundation in Abuja. She is a digital security advocate who is passionate about creating social impact in Africa's cybersecurity space. Simbiat also leads African-centric projects in cybersecurity space. You can find Simbiat at the intersection of social impact and information security. She is also present on social media and on various social media platforms. Join me in welcoming Simbiat Sadiq to the floor.
Thank you so much for the introduction.
Yes, let me run briefly through the profile of the second speaker, Sumaya Adegbite Hashim. Ms. Sumaya Adegbite Hashim is a developer and YouTuber. She is in her under-20s with much knowledge and experience of over 5 years with much knowledge and experience of over 5 programming languages. She has developed a variety of applications which can be found on YouTube and various platforms. She volunteers with various groups in driving digital inclusion, particularly for students and children in various schools in Lagos State. Kindly join me in welcoming Sumaya Adegbite. Good morning. Next, we'll be going into the opening address. The opening address by the Director of Telecommunications Development Bureau of the ITU. ITU is the International Telecoms Union. ITU is the lead agency coordinating the International Girls in ICT Day globally. So please permit me to take a video message from her while we move into this session. So join me as we take the opening address from Ms. Dorian Morgan Martins of the International Telecoms Union, Director of Telecommunications Development Bureau.
It's an ICT day. We've chosen the theme, access. This Girls in ICT Day, we've chosen the theme, access and safety, as part of efforts to promote a world in which every girl and every woman feels safe and empowered to take part online and to tap into the rich opportunities that digital technologies can offer their studies and their careers. Our world has never been more digital. We need to inspire women and girls to step up.
Yavish, I can't hear anymore.
Thank you very much. I think that was audible enough. We want to thank Doreen Morgan of the International Telecoms Union, Doreen Martins precisely of the International Telecoms Union, for making that message available to us for the International Girls in ICT Day. Also, moving to the next item on our agenda, let me run through what I have there. We'll be moving to the welcome address by the Secretary General of the International Telecoms Union, Uzlin Zhao. Uzlin Zhao. He is the Secretary General of the International Telecoms Union, and he also has an address for us, particularly for the International Girls in ICT Day 2020. Join me as I welcome you to take his address.
This year marks the 11th anniversary of Girls in ICT Day. We are celebrating this year under the theme, access and safety.
Hello, once you're muted, we can't hear the message, like we can't hear the video, audio from the video.
Excuse me, please. Did you say that isn't audible?
Yes, because you're muted, so we can't hear.
We can't hear that clearly.
Because you were muted, so we couldn't hear anything.
Oh, hope that didn't happen for the first address as well.
Oh yes, it did. I tried to drop your message, but I'm not sure you received it.
Oh, okay. Let me run through the first address and the second address again.
This Girls
okay,
in ICT Day, we've chosen the theme Access and Safety as part of efforts to promote a world in which every girl and every woman feels safe and empowered to take part online and to tap into the rich opportunities that digital technologies can offer their studies and their careers. Our world has never been more digital. We need to inspire women and girls to step up and become designers, creators, and leaders in this fast evolving field so that we build a gender equitable digital future that meets everybody's needs. But we'll never realize the dream of digital gender equality until the internet is a safe space for all. At ITU, we recently surveyed more than 100 girls from around the world, and shockingly, fewer than 1 in 10 said she felt fully equipped to stay safe online. That's not acceptable. This year, let's use Girls on ICT Day to step up efforts to turn this around. Women and girls will never enjoy the full and free digital access that enables them to harness technology to change their lives and the world if they do not feel safe online. I want our 193 member states, our UN sister agencies, our private sector partners, and our civil society community to come together to commit to more effective actions to protect all users from online aggression and threats. Engaging with young women who have faced these challenges and partnering with them to co-develop solutions is one important step. We need their critical and innovative thinking and their firsthand experience to help ensure that tomorrow's internet is a safe space for all. So this Girls on ICT Day, let's work together to ensure that every girl and every woman everywhere gets her chance to use digital technologies to flourish, achieve her dreams, and be her best self.
This year marks
Thank you very much. That was the address from Ms. Doreen Martins of the International Telecoms Union. She is the Director of Telecommunications Development at the International Telecoms Union. That's the IT arm of the United Nations, and also the lead agency coordinating the International Girls in ICT Day Global. We shall be taking the opening address from the Secretary General of the International Telecoms Union. The Secretary General of the International Telecoms Union is in person, Mr. Oslin Zhao. Kindly permit me to play his address right now. Thank you.
This year marks the 11th anniversary of Girls in ICT Day. We are celebrating this year under the theme Access and Safety to focus on the challenges girls and young women might face in the digital environment and possible solutions to these challenges. It is imperative that girls who have passions in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM, and information and communication technologies, ICT, can safely explore the digital world. Equipping girls and young women with the necessary skills and tools to fully exploit the benefits of today's digital economy empowers them to become drivers of innovation and transformation. We must do everything we can to change the fact that women and girls are underrepresented in STEM professions, the ICT sector, and technology leadership roles. On this Girls in ICT Day, I urge stakeholders and partners of this worldwide movement to promote online safety this and every year, and to collaborate and co-create solutions that enable girls and young women and their communities to overcome barriers to access. I encourage girls and young women to follow your dreams and ambitions to pursue studies and careers in the tech sector. Your fresh and creative minds, your self-confidence, your talents, along with cutting-edge technologies, have the potential to change the world and shape a better future for all. On this 28th April 2022, I wish you all a wonderful International Girls in ICT Day.
Thank you very much. That was the address from the Secretary General of the International Telecoms Union, the lead agency on the International Girls in ICT Day globally. I want us to note that the International Telecoms Union has our event registered and is also following our event as we run through the event. So I would want to move to the next item on our agenda. And the next item on our agenda is the panel session. I would like to start by calling on Sembiat Sadiq. I would like us to learn about interest in the STEM, particularly the ICTs, why she took interest in the ICTs and why she is in this industry, particularly working on cybersecurity. Thank you. Let me welcome Cynthia Sadiq.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, all right, perfect. Thank you so much. How do I start? So I think I found myself into ICT. Should I say out of sheer luck? I just say luck, and I was very inquisitive. I use that word. I mean, the first time I used a computer was, I think, just before I finished secondary school. And then, I mean, just like the regular African parents, my parents wanted me to go for medicine, biochem, you know, and all of those like science courses. But fortunately for me, I didn't get admission on my first attempt. I say fortunately because, I mean, I'm so grateful that I get to do ICT and cybersecurity in particular. So the 1 year I had to like stay at home to like wait for the next year. I just had to, you know, do something, learn something and all of that. So I dived into, you know, working at a cyber cafe. And I think something happened at cyber cafe, and then I had to like start making like inquiries research to see what hacking is about. And that was how I discovered cybersecurity as a course of study. And yeah, I think it's been a very interesting and fulfilling journey since then.
Okay, thank you very much. I know Nigerians, particularly those who started using the internet from 1999, understand what a cyber cafe is. And for young people of recent times, they might not know what a cyber cafe is. So please let me call on Sumaya and kindly let us know why you delved into the ICTs and why you are presently into the ICTs, particularly at a very young age of yours.
Okay, hello everyone, and thanks for having me. It's an honor. Okay, so I guess that was the fact, that was thanks to my parents who actually got me started at a very early age. I think all thanks goes to them because like when I was 10 years, my dad got like a tutor for me who started teaching me basics of coding. Then that was Scratch, yeah. So if you know Scratch, Scratch it's a simple language anyone can start with if you want to start learning how to code. So I think that's all thanks to my parents.
Kindly speak up, Sumaya. We can't hear you clearly.
Okay, I said that was thanks to my parents. I got into this tech space. That was thanks to my parents. They got me started early. Like they got me a teacher when I was 10 years. So and like I was learning basics of coding. That was Scratch. So for those who know Scratch, Scratch is a simple program language anyone can start with. That's like it's more of basics of mathematics, just basics of coding generally. So that was how I got into tech.
So yes, I want to believe Symbiat already has over 10 years experience working in this industry because from our comments on the cyber, what do we call it again? The whole cyber
crime.
No, the center where you said you worked.
Cyber cafe. Oh, cyber cafe.
Yes. From my experience working in the cyber cafe, I can say yes. With that, I can just calculate straight on that she's had over 10 years working experience. And for Sumaya also, I think she's had over half a decade work experience in this sector. If she can start coding from the age 10, then I'll say thanks to Microsoft for Scratch. So if I would move further, I would want to ask, what do we really see to be cybersecurity? Or what can we simply describe as cybersecurity?
Okay, thank you for that question. I'm just clarifying, right? I don't really have like 10 years of experience in industry. I think I've been working actively in industry for like 45 years. So unless you want to, add my educational background, well, probably 10 years. But working experience, it's more like 45 years really. So when we say cybersecurity, so I mean, everybody knows we're already like in era of internet, use of internet, computer devices, mobile phones and everything. And cyber is just the word for internet, right? So when we talk about cybersecurity, it's just the whole idea. It's all about how can we secure our devices, our information from cybercrime attackers. So because of the advent of technology, internet, computer devices, now the way you used to have like armor bars or chips like on the road, right? They've moved to the internet as well. We always have like criminals on the road, on the streets, they moved to the internet. Now it's a case of how do we like safeguard our information and our system from these criminals or these thieves or cyber attackers, as we like to call them. So that's what cybersecurity is about. Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes, let me go to Sumaya on that. Sumaya, as a young developer in the industry and a YouTuber, I would like to ask, what do young people see to be cyber security?
Please, can you come again?
Yes, I said as a young person in the tech industry, particularly a developer, what do young people, let's say your colleagues, see to be cyber security?
Oh, that question. Well, it's actually two responses. For like those that know what cybersecurity is, they believe like it's more protecting, like reducing the risk of cyber attacks. And for like the other part, they actually believe cybersecurity is more of like hacking. A lot of people actually make this confusion between cybersecurity and hacking. So this other set of people actually believe hacking is the same as cybersecurity. Why does first set of people believe cybersecurity is basically like making the internet secured? Oh yeah.
Okay, yes, thank you very much. If I also want to ask Sumaya, I would say, do young people really understand the difference within ethical hacking and the unethical hacking?
Yeah, not really. A lot of people don't understand the difference between ethical hacking and like illegal hacking. A lot of people don't understand the difference. Especially in this country of Nigeria, in this country of ours. Like when you say I'm a hacker, like if you know how that ethical hacker, they look at you like in some kind of strange manner. So like a lot of people don't know.
Okay, thank you. I wouldn't know if Simbiat would like to enlighten us on what ethical hacking is and what unethical hacking is.
I think I buy into Sumaya's opinion. Really, a lot of people just know hacking. And once you hear cybersecurity, the one thing that comes to mind is hacking. And it's very interesting because cybersecurity is much more than hacking. And talking about ethical and unethical hacking, it's just like a very tiny line between ethical and unethical hacking. One word: consent. For people that hack like ethically, like, so it means an organization has given these people like consent to say, oh, you know what? Can you try to get into my system? Let's see how you can get in. And really the whole idea about hacking isn't really like, oh yes, you can get a hold of information from the system, but then you need to be able to provide a recommendation on how it needs to be fixed, right? And this is where ethical hackers are like the good guys, because they get like consent from probably organization or people who owns like application and information to say, you know what? Try to get into the system, try to get this information. Let's see how you're able to get this information, and then let's find a way to fix it, how we can fix it. But for unethical hackers, they just try to, you know what, I just want to like get this information. I want to get this information. I want to steal from this person. You don't care if they're like causing like havoc to the people that is in the information or, the owner of the organization, in quote. So I think it's just one word: consent. Ethical hackers get like consent from organization and people, but for unethical hacker, they just do it for like malicious purpose and they don't even have consent to get a hold or get to a system. So yeah.
So that means you mean ethical hacking is a professional field where you do it for official purposes, while unethical hacking is usually done for dubious purposes. I think I am correct.
I think the interesting thing is unethical hacking sometimes might not even be for dubious purpose or for a malicious intent. But as long as you don't have consent, nobody cares what your intentions are. It's just a case of nobody gave you consent or authority to do this. So it means it is unethical. So that's it basically.
Okay, yes. No one gave you consent, then we'll say that is unethical. Oh, I wanted to go back to Sumaya, but I think our network has just tripped up again. Let us move a step further, particularly looking at what we can call digital identity. For many people, they have a belief that yes, once we have a device with us and we have access to the net, we have a full right to do whatever we want to do, to say whatever we feel like saying, to express ourselves in any way, irrespective of any other person's opinion. And eventually, they get to release a lot of information that might be needed and might not be needed by both friends and foe. So if I would ask, what will you call digital footprints? And what will be your advice around managing digital footprints for young people?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. And I think, the only difference between the regular identification, which is me identifying as who I am, or I come out and say, oh, I'm Sadiq Simbiat, and digital identity is, for digital identity, it's what are those information about you online? What are those information that can be attributed to you as a person? For example, I have a Twitter account. That is a digital identity I have for myself. I have a LinkedIn account that talks about what I do, where I work, what I've been up to. That is a digital identity for me. I make like tweets, posts, I talk about random stuff, gist, make jokes and all of that. That's the digital footprint. Every single thing you post online, every single information about you online, it's a digital footprint. I think the interesting thing is we all think, you can just like sit down behind, your phone, your laptops, make like, comments, both like, some very not so good comments online, and because you think you're anonymous in quotes. I like to tell people, like, really, you're not really anonymous online, because if someone really wants to find you, they are definitely going to find you, because you've already left a lot of information, probably 10 years ago, 50 years ago, you had like probably something about you, right, online. I like to make an example. There's this thing called, I'm trying to remember the name. Anyway, I'll just bring the name up when I remember. But what it does is, if you had a website, right, currently, if I have a website like Simbiat at, let's say, at sedic.com, and I've running that website for the past 10 years, right? And then over 10 years, I've actually, changed, the website, the look, the feel, information, probably, after like 2 years, my employees change, my board members change. And then, I try to change a lot of those information on the websites. People are actually able to like go back, right, back in time to get this information about the web, like that was in the website like 10 years ago. Why? Because you already have like a digital footprint on the internet. So it's very interesting, because literally what you have online is a reflection of who you are as a person. This is 2022. Like, I know people say, oh, my online personality is different from my offline personality, but sadly, it's very hard for you to actually provide that information. For example, you go to jobs where they ask you for your LinkedIn information. For example, your LinkedIn profile, and then it goes to like, oh, see who you are. So that's your digital identity. You're not asking you to come to the office, say, oh, come to the office first, let me talk to you. They say, oh, share your LinkedIn profile. And then you share that. They have like a feel of who you are, kind of stuff you've done, the kind of projects you've been working on. So that is you having like a digital identity. And I think it's very interesting, because in 2022, people are getting like a lot of opportunities online based on their digital footprints. You can easily like position yourself as a thought leader, like based on what you share, for able to like reach out to you to say, oh, because Sumaya talks a lot about like probably her code, the project she works on. I think she'll be a very good fit for our upcoming project. So I think it's very important for every young person to be able to protect their digital identity as much as possible, because we're in the era where people are actually doing background checks and include your digital identity. They're going to check, oh, this person, what do they do? I think I was trying to like meet someone like 2 weeks ago, and I remember I got the person's name, and then I went online to do like a search on the person, because I wanted to know who she was, what she does, and just have like a feel of who she is. And then when we met, like we connected easily, because I already had an idea of who she is, what she does, and what she's trying to achieve. So it's very easy. So I think for young people, it's very important for us to digital, like social media or internet, as a way to actually like promote ourselves in like a positive way. Yeah, they're like, funny things, you laugh about it, jokes and all of that. But we have to be very careful about what we put out there. I've seen people kidnapped just because of information they put out there, such as pictures. I remember, I think that was sometime in 2015 thereabouts. There was this story about this lady. Was it a lady and a guy? I think he went to the airport, took a picture to say, oh, I'm currently at the airport. And then when he'd go home, like, oh, I'm currently at home. And apparently he was being traced by, some assassin, and then he was killed right in his house. How do you know where he was? Because he was voluntarily, he was not under pressure, posting about, his movement. Oh, I'm currently here, home alone, and all of that on Facebook. So that means you're actually putting out so much information out there for, the bad people. Like I like to tell people, the dangers like on the streets have moved to the internet. The same way you can't just be on the road and be, you can't just like hold paper or placard to say, oh, my name is this, I'm going to Dubai tomorrow, or my flight ticket is by 96 p.m., or probably hold like your ticket on the road. You won't do that on the street, right? Why would you want to do that online for like the whole world to see? So those are like the dangers of, your digital footprint, and it's very important for everyone to protect their digital identity as much as possible, because it's usually what I look out for, right, at the moment. And just to add, I've got like referrals from people I don't even know based on, oh, I think I've seen this person's tweets, I've seen their profile, I've seen kind of things they post, and I think, oh, it's very great to like talk to this person. So it's super, super important for us to like maintain a very good and hygienic digital identity. Thank you.
Thank you for that. I would also want Sumaya to come into the discussion precisely on digital identity or digital footprints. I know a lot of young people, particularly your peers, are out there online on various platforms, expressing themselves in various ways. Some see it as positive, some see it as negative, some see it as innovative. Whichever it is, I would want to ask from your end, what do you think is the digital footprint of most young people, and what advices would you have for them?
Well, I think the digital identity of most youth now is, as youth, we want to live like the best of our life, want to live that kind of social life. Well, sometimes this may be good, but I think the best is we don't just like go to the extreme, because I think what Cynthia has said is very true. Companies now, before you're employed, most times they actually do a background check on you on social media, like what's your reputation online. So there was this case of a guy on Twitter, like he responded really to a manager. Then like the next week, it was in search of a job, and like the company was like the manager was the head. The manager of that company was the manager he talked Rudy to on Twitter. So immediately, like the managers saw him, she was like, I've seen this face somewhere. That was when she went to check the last tweet. Then she was like, wow, so you were actually the one who responded really to me on Twitter, and that was how you lost the job. So as youth, I'll advise you maintain a very good image online, because because of it's not because of now, but because of future. So I think this coming down wrong.
Okay, yes. Thank you very much. You are advising us to keep a very good image online, not because of the present, but because of the future.
Yes.
Still diving on in this, I would want to encourage our viewers on YouTube to kindly subscribe to the YouTube channel, to leave comments, questions, and also emojis, just like the email says, for speakers to know when they are communicating, and for speakers to know when people really enjoy what they are saying. If I want to move a bit further, I'll be talking about Africa as a continent. And I would say at the global stage, when we discuss about digital inclusion around the world, we usually see Africa as being the last place. And that is why there is usually a concept of never leave the last person alone, trying to ensure that we bring everybody on board. I would want to ask, what do you think is impeding the development of digital technologies or the drive for digital technologies in Africa? Let me start with Sumaya for that. Okay, I think Sumaya has been unable to unmute for now. I don't know why the unmute is not working. Let me go to Symbiat to start on that dialogue.
Okay, I think that's a very interesting question. I feel like there's like a whole lot of factor that we can look at from different angles. Okay, so I feel like there's like a whole lot of factor that we can look at. And I mean, even internet penetration is still very low in Africa. Digital devices, I mean, how many people have a phone that actually has access to the internet, really, when you think about it? And I think that's like challenges. And I mean, when we look at the cost of internet as a whole, it's like a very big problem. Even as someone who working and having to, subscribe to internet services every month, I feel like it's like so super expensive and it's not even encouraging for people, to be very honest. And I think first and foremost is we need to, I like to start from the grassroots, right? What we're trying to like talk about digital inclusion, and they were taking like advocacy to people online. I think it's time for us to like take a step back and look at the grassroots. What means, how are we planning on getting across to people, in our villages that don't have access to the internet? How are we planning on providing these people like with basic digital, skills? For example, I remember we had this program, I think that was last year, Cyber Girls. And I mean, because of the way the idea was to probably have young girls on board with little or no background in technology, like you don't know what a computer is. Are you interested? Then you come on board. And one of the way we had to devise was not just like publishing this information or probably this opening on the internet. We have to get volunteers from local communities to visit communities, like visit like village chiefs, parents, young girls, and talk to them about this opportunity. Oh, so this is a program coming up. This is something you're interested in. And so it's very interesting to see the amount of young girls that actually like came on board. And these girls, some don't even have a mobile phone. They might use a computer, they might use a laptop. Some are actually just finished like probably like primary school, had to like drop out from secondary school and all of that. So it's a case of what are we planning? Like, how do you want to like take a step back to take like digital literacy to the grassroots? Not just for people who are in school, but for people who are not even able to afford, schooling, because we have like a lot of dropouts as well. So do we say just people in school have to be like digital literate? No, we need to like be able to provide information and ability for even dropout in our local communities to be able to have access to digital literacy. That way we're able to like penetrate more, and then we have like more people on board. And as we grow as a continent and as a country, we're able to like have influx of digital literate people, which will like expand our digital community as a country or as a continent.
Thank you. I wouldn't know if Sumaya has anything to add to that.
Okay, what I would like to say, Sylvia has said like majority of it. Well, what I would just like to say is, we are now in the digital era, and like most technological advancement is a criteria to determine how developed a country is going to go. And like when we look at Africa, a lot of people who have this knowledge about this tech are like more of the elites. And if we're looking at, let's say, Nigeria, there are a lot of out of school children. I mean, there are a lot of children who are not even educated and don't even know what this tech stuff is called. So these kids that they're not even educated, they don't know, they don't have access to even ordinary computer. There are some areas in Africa, there are some areas in Nigeria where these kids don't even know what a laptop is called. And I think this is an issue that has always been like for a long time. So I think the problem is if we start tackling like from the education, other than the education has been there for these kids to enlighten them, this the rates at which we are in the tech world would not, the gap will have not been as high as this. And that's why it's high time for those who actually have this knowledge to give back to the community. And some NGOs are really trying their best. There are already some NGOs that have been established and already trying their best to give back to the community.
Okay, yes, thank you for that. I would want to move back to Symbias to ask, is it that the cost of digital technologies are on the high side, like the devices, or do we say the cost of internet access is on the high side? I wouldn't know which of the two, and I wouldn't know even if it's the two or not. Or should I say Nigerians are not just willing to go online as much as they have the opportunity to use the broadbands provided and the digital devices all around town?
Okay, I think that's a very interesting question. Everything is expensive from the device to the internet, right? So again, I'm going to go back to the initiative we're currently working on because this is like a real life scenario, right, for us. So during the first cohort for cyber girls, I remember because the girls we actually had on board, like I said, were like from rural community. So we had to partner with hubs in states, right? And then provide laptops in those hubs. So these girls like, come in into the hub, learn and then go back home. But then interestingly, there were like some girls wanted to like probably like go home with the laptops to learn. I mean, just like to stay ahead. But then they couldn't because in the hub we had like internet provided, but then they can't go back home with laptops because they don't have internet. And they can't afford it. They cannot afford it. And again, it was very interesting because even after the first cohort, graduated like about 70 girls, and then very few of them were able to like get a laptop on their own before they graduated. So I mean, they're able to like continue learning their cybersecurity skills and all of that. But then we had like over 50 girls that didn't have like a laptop. So we had to like solicit for funds. I mean, I'm trying to get like a second-hand laptop for one girl, and I'm having to spend like at least 180,000 naira. That is like way above minimum wage in Nigeria is 30,000 naira. And now you want someone who's like in rural community who cannot even afford to eat 3 times a day to afford 180,000 laptop. I mean, that's
I think the network
it's like almost impossible, right? So laptop. Can you hear me? I think I lost connection for a while.
Yes, the network. We lost the network from your end.
Yes,
I think you are back now. You were talking about getting a laptop for 180,000 naira for someone.
Yes.
Oh no, Symbias, we have lost you again.
And a laptop is 180,000. Okay, sorry for that. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, yes. Like I was saying, I mean, these girls can hardly like afford a 3 daily square meal, and which means it's very impossible for them to get like a laptop for 8,000 naira. I mean, very, very impossible. So we have to like take it upon ourselves to like, source for fun and then try as much as possible to provide like at least not even like a brand new laptop. I mean, a second-hand laptop that could actually be easily accessible to these girls and they could own and then be able to, not give up and then learn, as they go on. So and I mean, I hear there are hubs. I mean, personally, I've not seen them where people can like go in to probably to use like their computers. But I feel like there are few, and they are still in the areas where the elite people are. The communities where these hubs are built are still where people like me have the laptop, and the hubs are still accessible for people like me. We're talking about taking these hubs like remote areas, like people that actually really, really need it and like that need access to this system as well. So I think those are the challenges, laptops, internet, access to facilities and all of that. So yeah, I think so it's a very big problem if you ask me.
Okay, yes, and permit me to ask that question of access also from Sumaya. Do you think the cost of these technological devices are on the high side, or the cost of broadband internet technology is on the high side? Sumaya, kindly unmute yourself.
Sorry, please, can you come again?
Yes, I said on the question of access, do you feel these technologies on the high side, that the technological devices are on the high side in terms of amounts? Are they looking very expensive or very expensive? Or is internet access itself expensive? Because I know some people have the technology, some have laptops, some have mobile phones, but don't go online. So which do you think is expensive? Or what will you want to talk about the two on that?
Well, I think it's both of them, because like it depends on the category of people. Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I think it depends on the category of people we are talking about. There are some category of people that don't even have, like what Timbia said, that don't have, they can't get 3 square meal every day. And those type of people, it's true, they can't even afford a second-hand laptop that you can get for around 6,000 naira. Then we also have some set of people that have laptops, but like the cost of internet is so high. Because I remember, like, let's say you want to go into, let's say, game development, I also want to go into web development. The cost of internet you're going to be spending for web development is lower when compared to that you're going to be spending for game development. So, and like if you have the type of parents that don't actually understand, they're going to get frustrated with like the issues of buying internet data every time. I know, like with the way the country is now, we have like most parents want to use their money on other stuffs, and some of them don't actually have the time to spending their money on internet. So I think it depends on the site we are looking for, that we are looking at it from. That would depend on, is it the cost of laptops that's causing an issue, or is it the cost of internet that's causing an issue?
Okay, yes, thank you for that. I think Symbiat left a message earlier in the morning, and she's just been out. She needs to attend to an office emergency. While she do that, let's continue with the dialogue. It's a dialogue, and I think we have to continue with it. Also, if I would ask, what do you see or consider to be a Trojan in recent times? I know in the past, people used to know a Trojan as a fiscal gift given to an emperor by someone, by a group, and eventually they discovered that the gift contained some warriors who were in to invade the palace of the emperor. But online in recent times, the word Trojan is commonly used. And what will we call a Trojan? And how do you think a Trojan has affected many people in recent times?
Sorry, please, could you come again? Since I lost connection at some point.
Yes, okay, back again. The Trojan, as it's popularly known, was a fiscal gift gifted to an emperor by another leader, for the emperor to have a fiscal gift just like a statue, not knowing that the statue had some soldiers in it which were meant to invade the emperor's palace when the emperor went to bed. So in the digital space, we also use the word Trojan to describe invasion into people's privacy. I would like to ask you, Sumaya, what do you think a Trojan is, and what instances of a Trojan invading into people's privacy, particularly into their digital space, can you bring on board?
Okay, so for that, I don't really know much about Trojan, but like when I just searched on it, I think Trojan, like from the history, Trojan is more of we won't call it a virus, but like it's a type of like it's a software that looks legitimate, but can actually take control of your computer, and like it is designed to actually damage or disrupt some harmful action to your data. I don't really know much about Trojans because like that's kind of those that are in the cybersecurity space should know more about that.
Okay, yes. If I will talk about the act of pitching, there is a very popular act called pitching, in which a spy comes into your system to steal some information. Although some claim it's not stealing information, some claim it's duplication information, some claim it's just having a spare copy for security purpose without your consent. What will you say about spies, particularly to Nigerians who do not usually have an antivirus and anti-spy on their system to ward them off such acts?
What
Okay. I said, what will you call or describe as a spy? And what advices do you have for Nigerians who do not usually have an antivirus or anti-spy on their system to protect them against online spies?
Okay, so phishing basically is like what you said, some actually argue there's no stealing. It's kind of like taking a data, and it depends on when this data is being used. This data, if it's positive or if it's negative. Well, my advice is as Nigerians, let's all ensure to like always keep our accounts secured. Yes, like I know some people don't use antiviruses, and though it's not only true antiviruses, some people don't use antiviruses, but I think as Nigerians, we should always try to keep our accounts secured. I'm trying to get a point. Yes, we should always try to keep our account secured, and we should always try as much as possible to not share our personal info online, because like this little mini bit of info we actually disclose online could also be used. Like let's say you just completed something and you were given a certificate. Perhaps the certificate has maybe a confidential information you might not actually take you might not take serious. But like for those spies, these are the basic information they actually look through and could use. And also we should as Nigerians, we should be careful of the type of sites we go to. You don't just go to any site and like download something from any site. You don't download information from any house site. And we should always try to back up our data. And also we should try to always most popularly use secure passwords, like passwords that are not easy to get. Or if we're going to be using passwords that are related to purpose, we should also use passwords that will not be easy to get. Yes, okay. So I think that's what I have to say.
Okay, yes. If we are talking about passwords, particularly passwords that are not easy to get, to keep our mails safe, to keep our other accounts safe, to keep our other private informations and private spaces or private courses safe, I would want to ask, what advices will you give to Nigerians on how to configure a password or put up a password that will be relatively very secure?
Okay, so I saw a flyer online recently where we're talking about like different password combinations. Like if you use a password of just numbers and like depending on the letter of characters. So like if you want to have like a very strong password that's not going to be easy to hack, if you have a mixture of let's say caps lock, a letter, a number, then a symbol, then you have caps lock, uppercase and lowercase. And this is going to like produce a very strong password. And like we should try our best not to use password like you're using a password of probably your children, or you're using maybe the password of your name. Use a password that even when they finally get, they're not gonna believe it that you could actually link this password to it. And again, thanks to Google, while signing up for accounts, you could also auto-generate passwords. So like this password most times is always string symbols, string numbers and symbols, and you can actually save it in your Google account instead of having to go through the stress of learning, of memorizing long, long passwords and numbers. But my advice is, if you want to use passwords, don't use password that it's going to be easy to get, or that, you know, when even people wants to spy into, they know that, oh, this person is to mention this, let's try this, let's try that. So use password that is going to be hard to believe that that's what actually the password you used.
Okay, yes, thank you very much. And before we go, let me simply ask about cyberbullying. I wouldn't know if you have seen any case of cyberbullying before, and I wouldn't know if you have gone through reports of any case of cyberbullying. Cyberbullying, particularly, it's about infringing on the rights of people, particularly young people, via their digital footprints. So usually some entities just look into their digital footprints and follow up with young people on that, and eventually begin to bully them, begin to attack them, begin to victimize them, begin to oppress them, just to achieve some ulterior motives. What will you say about cyberbullying?
Okay, about the cyberbullying, I feel cyberbullying, and like that's a lot of time, and that's what actually led me to become a female tech advocate. Because like, if you know the notion about when, sorry God, you know, as a girl in STEM, as a girl in the tech space, like there's no doubt you're gonna see some people who have you're gonna see some people who have negative thinking about you. Because I remember there was a time, the first time I made my introduction on Twitter, about like I was a mobile and with the, I needed to see some coming to the comment section and we're saying, oh, is it true? Or like you're just playing in tech space. Are you sure you're going to focus on your study? And those kind of stuff. And again, there was also another time we wanted to create an app. I made a post about an app I was working on, like an app to connect females only in STEM. I needed to see some people also coming and were like attacking, whoa, why must you always create stuff for only girls and all this kind of stuff? So like cyberbullying is a thing that is faced most time. And I think those that have the effect is most times on girls, yes, on females. And like this has actually led some females, this has made them avoid social media. But most times what I do personally is I don't actually respond, because since I already know what cyberbullying is about, and I think the first thing is don't respond, but later you can come up with a post like enlighten them. And I think that's it.
Okay, yes, thank you very much. I am happy to note that you mentioned that cyberbullying is more to the female end than to the male end. I also note that in this part of the world, most females are usually the objects of attack when it comes to a cyberbullying case, in most cases. And the same happens in so many parts in the world. I would also want to end this session by asking you, what advice do you have for young girls looking at the recent case of a school here in Lagos where some horrible videos were released lately? I wouldn't want to mention the name of the school, but I know it was a case of some students on a trip somewhere out of Nigeria, but they were from a particular school here in Lagos. So what advice will you want to give to girls about how they manage their social media platforms?
Okay, so like we said when we started the session about digital identity and digital footprint. So my advice for you is try to maintain a very clean and good personality online, because it's not for now, it's for the future. I think that's
okay. Yes, thank you very much. Try to maintain a very clean digital personality online. It's not for now, but for the future. The fact is, everything online usually cannot be deleted. Even if you have a feeling that you've deleted it, the fact remains that it remains there. There remains a copy online that when a commoner could search and take his time to go through the search lines down to the part pages could find, and also someone who wants to dig deeper could also find much more than what we feel we have deleted online. So I want to appeal to young people to try to keep a clean, use that same word, clean digital footprint, to try to ensure they don't post what is private. Whatever seems to be private on the streets should also be private online. Whatever seems not to be unveiled on the streets should also not be unveiled online. Also, I want to advise people, when you are taking pictures, particularly at home with your house, in front of your house, do not take your pictures with the house address on the wall. Wherever you see there is an house address on the wall, I'll ask you to please avoid that region when you want to take a picture. That could also make you prone to people who want to bully you online. Same applies to people who have cars and try to pose with your car, but try to pose away from the plate number of your car, because with the plate number of your car, they could get some details online, and those details could be traced back to where you live. So thank you very much to everyone today. We'll be ending this session and we'll be making it shorter than initially planned, simply because we don't have Cynthia online anymore. She just said she has to attend to an office emergency, and let's appreciate both Cynthia, Sumaya, Doreen, and Oslen of the International Telecoms Union. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. This is the International Girls in ICT Day 2022 by Lukon Informatics. Please feel free to follow all our speakers online. They are available on the various social media platforms. Just click on the names you can see, and you will see them online on the various social media platforms. You could also follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Let me just share this with us. Precisely, this is social media handles. Okay. On Facebook, we are Lucom. On Facebook, we are Lucom at Lucom Informatics. On Instagram, we are at Lucom IN. On Instagram, we are at Lucom Informatics. On Twitter, we are at Lucom IN. On Facebook, you can follow, you can click on the notification button, you can comment on live there. On Twitter, you can tweet, you can retweet, you can mention us and comment on Twitter. You can also comment on us on Instagram, on our page on Instagram, like our posts and the likes. While we go to our page on LinkedIn, I think LinkedIn should be next. Okay, YouTube, yes, we have an active YouTube page. You could also follow the previous International Girls in ICT Day events. Some have a recap there. You could comment, you could subscribe so that you could get more information about our videos. In the nearest future, we'll be having the Safer Internet Day initiative, the ICT Community Summit, and some other wonderful tech events on our page. And kindly subscribe on YouTube, comment, and like. That could also give you the opportunity of getting regular information. On LinkedIn, we have an access page as well, recently created, and it's doing well. Yes, thanks to our social media manager. On Google Plus, we have a page there. Kindly follow Lucom Informatics on Google Plus. We're also available on email via lucomin@gmail.com and lucomin@hotmail.com. Thank you very much. Have Have a wonderful day. Enjoy your weekend. Today is the Explore Science International Girls Night Day 2022 with the theme Access and Safety while using various technologies online. Thank you. Have a wonderful day and goodbye. Bye.